At the dawn of time, single-celled creatures emerged from the primordial ooze to colonize the Earth. The fertile soil they found was beautiful, dangerous, and wild. However, it was also super lame because they didn't have the concept of numbers with which to rate things. Now, in the year of our spaghetti monster in the sky, 2025, two intrepid brothers have come forth to solve the world's problem. No longer will items go unrated. No longer will everyday objects escape the rule of numerical law. This is Review Everything.
Hello and welcome to Review Everything, the podcast where we put things from the known universe onto a numerical spectrum so that we can finally keep Mother Earth in her goddamn place. She's getting a little too big for her britches, and I just want to say, like, some things in this world, they're fucking ones and twos, okay? It's not all good. Not everything is lizards. Okay? Lizards, very cool, I think.
Do we need to check in on you? Are you doing okay? 1 to 5.
I'm doing fine, buddy.
Where
I'm
are
doing
you?
great.
1
My
to
name's
5.
Ashton. I'm a writer. I'm a data person, and I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. Lizards, great. Love them.
We'll get back to you how you're doing. I'm Connor from work. I am your elder millennial guide and guru. I am your advocate. I am your friend. I am your past and future lovers. I'm always watching. I'm always waiting, seeking. They call me a seeker. Keep your head on a fucking swivel.
Yeah, the fact that you said you're my past and future lover and I should keep my head on a swivel makes me a little scared about the future lover part.
Well, not
Feels a little
necessarily
aggressive. Feels a little
physical
scary.
lover. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, you're creeping around. I'm gonna
Keep your
lock my doors tonight. I'm gonna lock my doors tonight.
Keep your butt on a swivel. We might get pinched.
Oof. He's
Well,
like
how are you?
Sexy
1 to
little
5.
future crab.
1 being awful, 5 being good. Great.
Man, I've had a doozy of a day. I'm gonna say.
Oh, was your boss coming down on you hard again? That guy,
Yeah.
you tell
That
me
guy
after the
who
podcast.
definitely doesn't listen to this podcast. Yeah, he was just laying into me, telling me how bad I am
railing
at
you
work.
with TPS reports. Oh man.
No, that's not why. I'm gonna say there's a 3. I'm at a 3, but I gotta talk about it a little bit because there's ups and downs.
Yeah, that's what we're here.
One is I did have a very taxing day at work. There was a lot to do, and so I was pretty stressed. But about halfway through the workday, I get this email, and I find out that my novel is going to be stocked in a bookstore in the fall. It's in my college hometown, Bellingham. They will be carrying my book in their store. This is a store I went to a lot when I was there. I drank a shit ton of coffee. It's I always dreamt about having a book on their shelves. That is very cool. I'm very fucking stoked about that.
That's very cool. So
yeah,
you're
the
really
first
at
time
a
I've had
1
a
or
book
2.
on a shelf anywhere.
I put your book on shelves. I go into various places, and
it's the first time somebody else has put it on their shelves,
okay.
expecting it to sell.
Willingly. Yeah,
willingly.
Do you know how many they'll put on their shelves? How does that work?
I don't know. So it goes to a buyer, and they get this catalog of all these books coming out, and they say yeah, give me some of this, a little bit of Rocky Road, and then they buy them, and then they put them out, and if they don't sell, they don't order more. So when September rolls around, I'm going to be pushing on everybody, please go buy these books.
I'll buy a book.
Yeah.
Like a physical one.
So that was good. And then I don't know, man, I had to do a bonus episode of this podcast where half of the time my hand was my wife as a puppet. And I don't know, it felt weird.
She wasn't very nice,
No,
I'll say.
which is not how she is in
It
real
felt
life. But when
contentious,
she's a
yeah.
puppet, she's just mean. She's just a mean little puppet. I don't think I could have nice puppets. So anyways, I'm in a weird headspace. How are you?
Is Kendall around? Okay.
She didn't want, she said, okay, listen. So I asked her if she
No,
would
no,
come on the
no,
podcast.
no,
and
no.
she told me, just listen. She told me, and she asked me, do you have 50,000 listeners? And I was like, no, we don't. We have 40.
Wow, I was going to say something really nice about her.
50,000 listeners, because I don't get out of bed for less than 50,000 listeners. And then she just went back to counter money stacks upstairs.
So we have a goal. I don't have many goals in my life. This is the only one I have
50,000
right
listeners
now.
to get her on the pod. That's the new goal.
50,000 is kind of a measurement. The OKR, the key result is getting her on the pod. That's what I care about. And then,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so just once she knows that I'm worth a damn in the podcasting business, then she'll come on. But until then, she's just gonna, go run her lifestyle brand out of her.
Well, I'll say she was a complete sweetheart for getting roped into providing some content, some feedback, and I'm very appreciative of her work and not that awful puppet you made me look at. So
I'm also appreciative. Also, if you're wondering like what the fuck we're talking about, go listen to the bonus episode. There's some good content. We talk about shipwreck beads, maybe the worst roadside attraction I've ever been to.
Beans.
Beans.
Sorry, it's hard to. He
Beans.
doesn't enunciate. Beans.
Shipwreck beads. How are you? 1 to 5. Hit me.
I'm gonna say a 3. I've had. I was pretty stressed. I had one accountability or one commitment, and that was updating my profile, which I haven't done for 2 years in case I want to share it with someone for a job. And I didn't want to think about that. So it was a good forcing function. It was a year and a half of ignoring it, but it was pretty stressful to do it. For some reason, resumes for me or writing your like an enterprise world where you have to do a self-evaluation and like write everything that you've done and the value of it every couple months. I take them very seriously. So it took a long time to get it to a place that I like. But now I'm hanging out with my buddy, drinking a beer, doing some goofs.
Yeah,
that's a 3.
That's much better. I hate writing resumes. I
Yeah.
hate reading resumes too. I hate everything about the interview process. Like,
I know,
it's all
I do too.
miserable.
It's
And
all-
it's
it's
all fucking. We should overhaul it. Let's overhaul it all.
The dumb power positioning. Yeah, I hate all of it.
So today we're talking about, and this is your topic suggestion: things I regret eating.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Ashton, let me ask you something, Ashton. And I think I know the answer to this. On average, do you regret the things that you eat? Like on a one-by-one basis? Like,
So-
you look at everything you ate today.
Yeah.
Do you feel good about that? Does your body feel good, or do you regret some portion of it?
So there was a time in my life when, if you'd asked me that question, I would say it's all regret, baby. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, now I have non-radiographic spondyloarthritis, which is very fun, and it requires a very specific diet to make me not feel like shit. So I do feel pretty good about my choices today. Unfortunately, like, I don't
No,
want to
that-
get up on my high horse. Ate a lot of whole grains, a lot of leafy greens.
Oh.
It was a nice day. It was a nice day. But when I was like let's say 12 to 30, yeah, I regretted everything I ate because I just ate like a fucking monster that was just trying to hurt myself.
I don't know how you're not like 400 pounds either. You
Yeah,
want to hear
I mean,
a
I
fun?
run a lot.
Yes. Do you want to hear a fun tool that I learned the other day on
Yeah.
socials?
Hit me.
This is in the category of like role playing to trick your brain into stuff. And so there's this woman, and she created something it's called dinosaur mode, and she gives herself 2 minutes a day, and she pretends she's a dinosaur and like tries to wipe her human brain, and puts her hands up and grabs a box of spinach or like something that's left in the fridge of just greens, and she's made it a game where how fast she can eat as much as like a dinosaur, and then so she'll get like all her like greens for the day as a dinosaur, and then go back to eating normally. So it's like this 3-minute fun thing that she does that kind of allows her brain to be like, I'm not eating spinach because I'm a fucking dinosaur.
That's delightful. I love that.
I know.
That's good for her. Like, fuck yeah, I'll be a dinosaur. I mean, most dinosaurs probably eat meat.
Yeah.
So watch out, I guess, if you're around during that 3 minutes a day. But,
Okay. What do we got on the docket today, Judge Macaulay?
yeah, you know what? I'll lead us off. We didn't talk about this, but I'm taking command. My controls,
Yeah.
as they say in the airplane business. So picture this, and you're not going to have to picture it very hard because you were here. You might have actually caused this particular incident, but it's Friendsgiving.
Can we hold on? Can we resolve this real
Hey,
quick?
I am sorry. Yes, sure. We can resolve it real quick.
I don't want to go into this topic with the unalignment that one of us was the cause and that person was not you. I did not put that in your mouth. That is wholly your decision as an adult, and so I would just like you to hold space for that and acknowledge that.
Hey, this was a time when I was like Ron Burgundy with food. Anything you put in front of me, I will eat.
All right, tell us about your gross
You
experience.
knew that. You knew this. So,
You little
Friendsgiving
deviant.
2023. I'm full. I have eaten too much. I'm leaning back in this chair. It's barely supporting me, and I'm rubbing my belly and I'm moaning and like I don't feel good, but I've still got room for dessert. But like I've eaten a lot of potatoes in particular because I like them, and like I do this a lot. Well, not anymore. I used to eat to pain quite a lot because I just really like food. It's delicious.
Eating to pain is insane. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
what I would qualify as.
So it's
You
not
really like
pain.
food.
You don't eat until you feel pain. You just eat because you eat fast because you know that if you slow down, your body's going to catch up and it's going to know you're getting full. So the trick is you got to eat really fast before you feel full and then feel the pain later.
But why do you want to feel pain?
I don't want to feel the pain. I just want the joy of eating.
You
the
just
whole
want to be
thing.
stuffed to the fucking brim.
Yeah. Look,
Okay.
that's something I've had to reckon with. Again, I don't do it anymore because it hurts. But so I'm moaning. I feel very full, and my good friend Connor from work brings out a small little coffin-shaped box. And inside that box is a plastic bag for the Pocky One Challenge. And for the uninitiated, the Pocky One Challenge is basically a single Dorito coated in the nastiest fucking spice you can imagine in the world. It is jet black with all of the shit they put on it. It comes with plastic gloves so that when you pull it out, you don't get any on your fingers because God forbid that gets anywhere near your eyes or you're downstairs, you're fucked. It has like medical warnings on the box. People have died eating this chip because they like have a heart attack or some shit. It's bad. But my friend Connor from work brings it out and I see an opportunity for a bit. And I'm a performer by nature. And I say, this is a bit that I have to take on because it's like Chekhov's gun. Once it's there, it has to go off. And so once I see the one chip, I know I'm gonna eat it. Like it's already been predestined in the stars. I'm gonna eat this thing. So I'm really full. I crack it open. I don't put on the gloves because I'm a fucking idiot.
All your friends, and the problem is because and we didn't know this at the time, but you had already committed to this dark bit, and your friends are trying to keep you from doing it in a way that's very real.
And my wife, everybody is saying, don't
eat
this.
It's silly. It was a $5 like joke gift. Like, don't eat it. And then I saw your eyes. I saw it. I stopped it. I realized at that point, I was like, we're going to go down. We're going through something together now as a group.
Yeah. It's like your dog when they realize that you've left the pizza unattended.
Yeah.
And there's
you make eyes.
You can try and stop it all you want, but it's fucking happening.
Yeah.
And so
Fitz does that with human skin.
Chip. Yeah. I take the chip and I'm like, I'm not going to do the whole thing, guys. I'm not crazy. So I just take a pretty big bite of it. And then I leave this like really sad little like sliver of Pocky One chip and I put it back in the bag. And like for the first 3 seconds, I'm like, everything's fine. It's a little hot.
Hubris.
And then
Thy
all
name
hell
is
breaks
Ashton.
loose in my mouth and shit gets real very fast. This is one of the spiciest things I've ever eaten in my life. And like the thing I'll talk about later is probably the second spiciest thing I've eaten in my life. A lot of my regrets come from spicy food. But like this thing lights up my whole head and I am just in agony immediately. And my head starts swimming and I get dizzy. I can't see straight, like I'm crying, and I feel just extremely nauseous. Like I'm sitting there, like, well, my friends are rightfully so laughing at me, and I'm just trying to like not vomit my Friendsgiving dinner all over this brand new table that my friends have bought.
Did you not give in at some point?
To drink water? I should know. Yeah,
no,
the other piece of this challenge.
I meant to throw up, like go get it out of you.
Oh no, I never threw up. I didn't want to do that. That would be much worse. Like part of this challenge, the Pocky One Chip challenge is to eat it and then see how long you can go without drinking water. And I gave in immediately. I was like, fuck that. Give me the water. I lasted like maybe 10 seconds. And I thought like, okay, this is going to suck for a minute and then it's going to be fine. No, it sucked for like 30 to 45 minutes of like solid pain and just the spice did not go away.
I've never seen you look worse.
No, it was grim. And I eventually made it through and I was okay. And I was like, God damn, I'm never doing that again. But then I get home and we're going to sleep and it's like 3 or 4 hours later.
Why?
And I get the worst stomach pain.
Okay, I thought you were telling me you finished the
No, I didn't
chip.
finish the chip. I threw that shit away. But then like the Pocky One chip hits my upper intestine. And
is that what you think it happened? It got through.
Yeah.
You did the tummy and now it's in the intestines?
Yeah, and now it's trying to pass this through. And like, I shit you not, I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital. I could not stand up straight.
I'm sure your body thought it was being invaded or like poisoned and was fighting against it in some way.
Yeah, and for everybody online who calls me a wimp, they're like, I've eaten hotter shit. Good for you, man. For me, this was awful. This was like life or death. I was doubled over in pain, and that lasted for probably another hour and a half as it made its way through my intestines, and then I went to sleep, and the next day I was fine. But like,
Real?
Yeah. So this is an interesting thing with spicy food. Like, we're gonna get into it. I don't get the fiery shits afterward. Like, I get the pain in my stomach when it's processing, but my body does a good job processing it, and then I'm okay. The one exception is Buffalo Wild Wings.
My body just lets the spice through. That's a Dune reference. I don't know. It lets the spice flow. And so I don't get a lot of symptoms that, like, it's always, and this is actually going to lead right into mine, because without discussing it, this episode is going to be very diarrhea-centric.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it was bad. It was really bad, and I'll give you my rating, and then I'll take some cues, and we can get this chip on there. So I did 3 categories: tummy hurt, 2 out of 10. It's 2 out of 10 because it's not the worst tummy hurt I've ever felt in my life, but it's close.
Wait.
I've had worse tummy hurt.
Is that a 1 or is that a 10? Is worse?
1 would be worse.
Gotcha. So this is close. This is a 9. Like if we're doing
this is like easily the second or third worst tummy hurt I've ever felt in my life. So 2 out of 10. Flavor, 1 out of 10. There is no flavor. There's nothing redeeming about this chip. It's not fun to eat. There's no piece of this that's fun. There's no flavor on this chip. The flavor is death. It's awful. Vivid nausea-induced hallucinations, 4 out of 10, because that was at least interesting.
Did you got hallucinations?
Yeah, like full on, like I was on mushrooms, like wavy visualizations in the room because my head was just
that's when you were dizzy.
swimming.
Like I remember you being like physically dizzy.
I just checked out. I was like, this is no longer a bit. I'm fighting for my life with this chip.
I can't believe you did it.
And so, fun fact, after 2023, I think it was after 2023, they reduced the heat on the Pocky 1 chip.
You had the worst.
I had the last one before they started reducing it because there was legitimate issues with like people getting seriously injured eating this chip. That's why they put warnings on it, and you shouldn't fucking do it. So anyways, the Pocky 1 chip, for me, let's see, 5.7 divided by 3 is, what is that, 2.5?
It doesn't have to be an average, you know.
Look at that statistics. So I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10.
Okay. I mean, the question is, what would I have to do to get you into a Pocky 1 chip today?
Oh, God. I'm tempted to say there's not a price, but of course there is.
I don't even think it would take money, honestly.
So to get me to eat a Pocky 1 chip on the pod.
You do it at the beginning of the pod.
Okay, and then we record?
We record a whole podcast.
We just invented hot ones.
Yeah, but it's like slower and hyper specific to us, and no one watches it or listens to it.
Yeah, people just watch me sweat for an hour and feel
awful. Hold on, you had this coming. What's Sean's last name? Sean from Hot Ones?
Oh, Sean Evans. Sean
Evans. Lightning round. Sean Evans questions and general ability to hold an interview. 0.
Whoa! What the fuck?
Just because you ask them deep cut questions doesn't make you a good interviewer.
I can't stop his right. I disagree with it, but once he said lightning ranking, it's in the books. Wow, 0 for Sean Evans.
Great job, you Googled him. That's so hard.
The rating, by the way, the only other 0 item on Connor's lightning rankings is Chipotle Omakase. So
I think lightning ratings from now on are either a 0 or a 10.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
So yes, 2 out of 10. What would you give it? Oh, sorry. I didn't answer your question. What would it take? It would take Sean Evans interviewing me. If Sean Evans was going to interview me while I ate it, I would eat the Pocky 1 chip. But that is the only scenario. Or somebody of equal caliber.
What if a role played as Sean Evans for the entire duration of the podcast, including his silly questions and poor interviewing techniques?
Are you going to shave your head?
I will wear a bald cap.
It's got to be a full shave.
I'm not going to shave. Hey, bud, if I shave this, it's not coming back this way again, man. I got one chance.
I'm just telling you what it takes. And what it takes for me is if you're going to commit, I need you to shave your head like Sean Evans. Like, we don't have to do this. This is just setting the boundaries of what I need. I need you to shave your head, be the Hot Ones host fully, or get me the real thing.
What if I did it with you?
Ooh, God, it's so painful, though. If you did it with me...
For the content?
For the content. No, man, it was really bad. Like, it was really bad. I'm going to need something else, like a movie-quality Greedo mask.
All right, I'm going to think about this one, because I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, honestly, like, the pain... Talking about it is bringing the physical pain memory back. I don't know how many of those my stomach has left before something seriously goes wrong.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've been through the medical system lately. It's not fun.
I have a concierge doctor, so.
Yeah, we're looking at that too. We'll cut that. So all right, what's your rating?
I think the acute experience of the Pocky chip is worse than the cumulative effect of dealing with dumb people.
Yeah, I agree. All right, hit me with your first item.
All right, I got a quickie for you. Not dissimilar from yours. It is a tale of spice. It is a tale of regret. It is a tale that I did twice and regretted it for the same reason twice. And so I'm talking about a college haunt. One of the few places, it's still around today. It's called Courtside Thai in Fairfax, Virginia. It's a very good little locally owned Thai place. The lady, as I remember her, she's probably deceased because she was really old, but imagine her kids or other people are there. One of the fun things about it, they had a nice patio where they grew Thai peppers outside, and a lot of them. And whenever we brought our little dog Leland, this little Chihuahua monster we had, she would like bring out rice balls for him and talk to us for the entire time. And so then we stopped bringing Leland because it was cool that he got rice, but then it would make him sick. And then also she talked to us the whole time about Leland, so we stopped bringing him. But this is where, as your guru, your guide, your elder millennial, I want to bring to the table for those who are following in my footsteps. Age takes tolls on you. And there's a part of your body that for the longest time I didn't think about, and I think a lot of people don't, and that is your butthole. And I want to share with you today something that can happen when you eat a lot of spicy food. It can happen from one experience, it can happen from multiple, but it is a hemorrhoid or hemorrhoids. And I feel like it is a topic that is embarrassing and people don't want to talk about, but many of us are just walking around out there after blowing their assholes out with protruding vessels that cause great pain. And we can't talk about it, and we can't tell the future generations what they should do to avoid it. So that's the setup.
That, King.
All right, bud. And this is personal. We can cut it out if you don't want to share this on the internet. But have you had a hemorrhoid before?
No, but my roommate in college did have a hemorrhoid before.
Did he have you look at it?
He called it the penguin because it lived
in his cave.
And he did show us pictures of his hemorrhoid.
What did it look like?
Because he pictured it as an angry little Danny DeVito in there causing him pain.
Yeah, you know what? That's not an awful description. Imagining the penguin in there. Was it a prolapsed? Was it coming out?
I think it was inside relatively. I think I blocked the picture because he showed us basically a picture of his inner butthole with a hemorrhoid. Yeah. And I blocked that out. Lauren, one of our listeners, you'll remember John's hemorrhoid, the penguin. And if you don't, you're welcome. You remember it now. So
all right. So let's talk about what causes hemorrhoids. Essentially anything that is causing irritation to the vessels around that area. So that could be constant use of that area. That could be excessive wiping. That could be sitting on the toilet and just straining and not paying attention and doom scrolling. That's generally it. In my instance, this hemorrhoid has appeared twice. It's the same one, and it gets inflamed. And both times it was Courtside Thai, where I had something very spicy. I had a 5-minute window, and I'm like, Sarah, this is one of those times that we got to go home. I'm already sweating, and it was explosive, and then gone, and then done. But after it happened the first time, it was gone, and then 2 hours later, there was something left. And I found my penguin. It's kind of scary when things hurt, because usually there's some blood, some bright blood. Yeah. And so, especially, again, we don't talk about this. So you're like, what's wrong with my butt? Do I have cancer? Is there a tumor in there? I know now people our age are dying of prostate cancer because we're full up with seed oils. That part's not true. I'm taking the fucking seed oil part out. Seed oils are fine. Like, things aren't good out there. And so I want to let you know, if you get a little bit of blood, it doesn't mean you're dying. If you have a little bit of pain, get it checked out. Have a significant other look at it. Grab a mirror, spread your legs, take a little peek, take a picture, send it to your doctor. I didn't do that, but you can do that. And so
they might even put rubber bands around it to get it to go away. We both know a guy that happened to.
So that's a version of the surgery. And so there's 4 levels of hemorrhoids, starting from non-prolapsed, which generally just looks like a little bump. And then you get into level 2, 3, and 4, of which you get varying degrees of the vessel protruding through the skin. And one of the surgeries, I believe, involves removing that, cutting off the blood flow, and then sizzling it with a little sizzler.
Is it level 3 or 4 that it can evolve and learn flamethrower?
You have to, I don't remember if this is an evolution stone or if it has specific criteria. The thing you're going to want to do is avoid Courtside Thai or the first place it happened, because there's some sort of haunting or curse associated with it now. And so the biggest takeaway is, if you get a hemorrhoid, you now are avoiding everything associated with that location, that place, the people you were with. You need to start a new life or it will come back.
And so it's just like, once it's there, it's there. And like, it's, you have to like get a divorce and move. Basically.
You have to Gone Girl someone to get it to go away if you don't want to get surgery.
Like that tape from The Ring. You got to show somebody else your hemorrhoid. You have to give somebody else a hemorrhoid, and then your hemorrhoid will go away. Like, so if you trick somebody else into eating at Courtside Thai, then they will get a hemorrhoid in your way.
I think it's probably similar to Thinner, like that Stephen King story where you're trying to get someone else to take the curse away from you. It's not life ending. It's very uncomfortable. it makes you want to not use the bathroom because you don't want to touch anything down there. It makes sitting hard. So recommendations, avoid things that cause irritation for your stomach. If you have difficulty with your using the restroom, maybe because you're not getting enough fiber or water, increase those, because the more strain, the more the pain. And if you are like my partner and you come home and you just sit on the toilet for an hour to relax, probably keep your pants on and don't pretend like you're using the restroom, because gravity's pulling on all those things and you might get one.
Man. Well, okay. That makes me double sure I don't want to do the Pocky One Chip unless you shave your head or we get the real Sean Evans. Because that seems like a one-way trip to Hemorrhoid Town.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't eat a Pocky with you. I was just so curious if you would.
It's such a bad idea. Do you want to get into your rankings or you want my cues first?
Oh, yeah. If you have any questions.
So what does courtside Thai mean? Because I pictured like basketball courtside Thai food when I first read this. Like, what does courtside mean for this restaurant?
Yeah, so the husband, it was a husband and wife pair that started it, and he was 7 feet 4 inches, and he played basketball in Thailand before coming over here.
Whoa! All right, sick. That's cool.
They had a little courtyard. That's where the chairs are.
Where is this place located?
Fairfax, Virginia, near George Mason University.
Okay, so it's far away. What would it take you to go back?
Oh, you know what? I didn't know it was still around. And now that I do, the next time I go back to that area, I'll definitely grab lunch there. I'll just avoid getting spicy food because it's very good.
Yeah. Will you save some for me in a bag? Just carry it on the plane, as a carry-on. I'm sure it'll last. It's not that long of a flight. Maybe pack it with some dry ice.
If you ate it, yeah, I would, I guess.
Yeah. I'd like to eat it. That sounds delicious. Like the spicy kind though. Yeah. All right. Tell me how you're ranking this.
All right. So this was really just a reason to do a PSA on hemorrhoids, but I'm going to stick to rating the food, the spicy thing that I ate. And so this category is consumables for me, and maybe we can, after this, rationalize it. My categories are taste good, feel good, lasting impact. So taste good, 7. It's delicious food. Feel good, 3. Explosive diarrhea. Lasting impact, 5. It made a vessel near my anus protrude and hurt and kept me from playing sports for 2 or 3 weeks over the multiple occurrences.
That would chafe. That would be awful.
Yeah, so I couldn't play Ultimate, and at that time, that was my favorite thing to do.
You were trying to get your spirit disc, too.
No, I know. This slowed me down. So overall rating, I'm going to give this experience or this consumable a 3.
A 3? Wow, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds fair to me. I'm good with a 3. So a 3 for Courtside Thai / Connor's first hemorrhoid.
What's your second consumable edible?
All right, so
food-based disaster.
Food-based disaster. This is an interesting one because it's actually very similar to my first schoolyard ass beating. This comes when I was 16, and my parents, they bid on this silent auction trip to Africa, and they got it, and they took me with them, and we went on safari for 10 days in South Africa, which was an experience on its own. Crazy formative to see that place and to be there, but being 16, I ate a bunch of food when I was down there. I ate crazy shit. I ate spicy shit. And I was like, I'm hot shit now. I have eaten.
You have hot shits now.
Yeah. I ate curry out of the trunk of a car in front of the Nelson Mandela Memorial. So I'm hot shit. This woman pulls up with her car, pops the trunk, and just has like curries laid out in plastic in it, and was selling it for like $4. And I was like, food poisoning maybe, but that smells really good. And some of the best goddamn curry I had came out of the trunk of that car.
Oh yeah.
And it was really spicy and it was delicious and I loved it. So I ate that. I was like, I'm hot shit. I've survived Africa. We're going to London because we're doing a layover. We're staying for a day and then going home. And the one night we're in London, we're getting Indian food. And a little bit of backstory. Indian food is the entire reason I started learning to like spicy food. Because my mom first took me to this restaurant called Swagat in Portland. Still there. And we got chicken vindaloo. And I was like, this is delicious. I love everything about this, but it's too spicy. Like I was just having trouble eating it and like sweating. And I was like, I need to learn to eat spicy food because I love this. This is amazing. I want more of it.
Hey, just real quick.
Yeah.
Do you ever call Kendall your Vindaboo?
Vindaboo? I don't think I do. Maybe I should. I'll try it out later. I'll tell you. I'll see what her ranking on that nickname is. We can put it in the spreadsheet.
Okay.
But so I started learning to eat spicy food, right? And I had acclimatized myself because I was like, I want to be able to eat all the Indian food and not hurt afterward. And I got pretty good at it. Ate a lot of spicy food. So we go to this place called Veeraswamy in London. It's a very nice Indian restaurant.
Ooh.
I think it's still there.
My first question was going to be.
Let's see if I can pull up a page so I can show it here. Veeraswamy. It's spelled Veer. Is this right? Is this the right one? It says it's next to Hamyard. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll just share the Google Maps page here. Veeraswamy in London doesn't have very good reviews though. It's 4.3 stars. All right,
Nice job, Kermit.
but like this, yeah, I remember this wallpaper and everything. Like this is bringing back sense memories. Look at that. That's a nice dish. Probably ate some of that. This looks delicious. I would want to go back here. I fucking love Indian food. Indian food's the
I
best.
think I may have been here.
It's common like for business trips and stuff. Like people book
Yeah,
this
we did it
restaurant
on a business
lot.
trip. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I have been here.
Oh yeah, this room for sure. Anyways, so Veeraswamy, we go there. 16-year-old me, fresh off trip from Africa. Hot
What do you
shit.
sound like? Yeah, can you role play how you're gonna talk to
Yeah.
the chef?
So I look pretty similar to what I do now, with even more stoner eyes.
He's
and
just snapping.
Justin Bieber haircut. I was never mean to wait staff. That was always my dad's thing.
Ugh,
I
gross.
saw it enough that I was like,
The
nope, I'm
biggest
not going to
fucking
do that.
red
I'm not an
flag.
asshole.
Yeah.
So just kidding. He's not mean to wait staff, but he does try and speak Spanish at every Mexican restaurant we go to, and he's not good at it. And-
Conde K, my
yeah,
boy.
he says stuff like agua cornialo, which instead of like agua con hielo, which means ice water, he says agua cornialo. It's a whole deal. Anyways, we're not here to talk about my dad. We're
What
not here.
guys?
We're not doing that. We can rank him
Yeah.
later.
Okay.
Yeah, we can. It's on the table. I don't think he listens. So they are taking our orders, and I'm like, I would like the chicken vindaloo, and I would like the chef to make it as spicy as he can possibly make it. First of all, gender the chef. I assumed it was a man. It was in this case, but 16-year-old me, not the best. Make it as spicy as you can. I can handle it. And they were like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Please. I just came from Africa. Okay, look at me.
Look at my
I'm-
skin color.
look at-
Okay.
look at me.
I just
I'm-
came from Africa.
I'm ready for it."
Yeah.
And this waiter looks at me and he's like, "This 16-year-old's about to get fucked." And my parents give the okay. They're like, "Yeah, whatever he wants, let him do it." And to their credit, they didn't put up guardrails for me so I could make my own mistakes. And so this food comes out and everybody else is eating theirs. I take a few bites. It's delicious. It's amazing. Tastes good. And then the spice hits me and I'm sweating and I'm crying and I'm at this table with other people and I'm like, I gotta get through this because I love this and I gotta save face.
You gotta be a tough boy. You gotta be a
hot
tough
shit.
boy. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I eat it. I eat the whole thing. You gotta get through the whole dish. Like,
This is a bowl of chicken and sauce, is what.
yeah. Just it's a bowl of red. It's
Yeah,
red.
yeah.
It's chicken and
Sorry,
potatoes.
gravy
and
is what
sauce.
like my Indian friends would actually call it, because curry, it's like you have a very thick liquid that is surrounded in meats, and that's where the hatred lives.
Yeah, and it's bright red. Like this,
Yeah.
like vindaloo is bright red as a curry. And so I eat it, not feeling great. The chef comes out personally to laugh at me.
Did he talk to you or just like laugh?
He's like, "How's your food?" It's like, "It's great. I love it. Thank you." And the waiter's laughing at me too. Everybody's laughing at me. This is a common thread.
How sweaty do you get? Because one of my primary heat responses is like I can start sweating through my clothing.
So I don't sweat through my clothing, but it does drip down my forehead.
Okay.
Like I mostly tear up and get snotty. Like that's the kind of spice eater I am. And much like the Pocket One Chip Challenge, we go back to our hotel. I don't have a bed at this hotel, so I'm on the floor already, but I'm curled up on the floor just in agony.
Wait a second. They get a
Because it
cot
hits
for
my
you?
upper intestine and I got to deal with it. And so I'm like in agony, and then we got to get on a plane the next day. And it was rough. But in the grand scheme of things, it taught me some things. One, don't challenge the chef of a restaurant. Like, just don't do it. It's not worth it. I used to do it at this Thai restaurant we went to a lot, and I knew the guy, and it was fine, and it hurt then. This hurt way more. Mostly, don't challenge the chef of a restaurant you've never been to. That's the key takeaway. Two, honestly, kind of worth it because it was fucking delicious. It was really good, and I really liked it. Like you could just toss anything in there, and then like I was fine. So as far as experiences go, I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 10. Like I learned something. It was pretty painful, but it was also delicious. That's where I'm at. 5 out of 10 for my Indian food hot shit 16-year-old trip in London.
First question. Why as a 16-year-old, why were you sleeping on the floor? There wasn't a cot or like a fold-out bed or another room?
This was a weird, so I was in another room, but there was like a chaise longue that was not long enough for me. So it had it was that or the floor.
What do you think was it? So you asked him to pump up. Like, I know you're really familiar with spice, different types of spice, different ways different spices react to you. What do you think was cranked up there?
My guess is it was just like ground up dried pepper that
Like
they just tossed.
Cayenne? Did it feel like a cayenne burn? Like, because I feel
No,
like
it felt like there's Indian pepper because cayenne, like the burn doesn't last. There's like a spicy Indian pepper it's not a scorpion pepper because that's Thai food, but like it's similar to a scorpion pepper where like it just pumps it up. And like when you ask for spice levels in Indian food, right, they're not making it to order. Usually with curries, they've made large batches,
right, yeah,
and they'll adjust the spice afterwards.
yeah. So they're just putting something in it.
Right. So like the correct answer for anybody, what I've been told to do at Indian restaurants is just order it and then say whatever, like give me the base, like give me what it's already at.
Okay.
But like, so I'm assuming that it was a mix of probably like hot oil and powder something. But honestly, I can't remember.
My biggest takeaway in how your body reacts is that I think my body's given up on me, where yours still fights the fight. Did when you're 15 and it does now, or at least it did when the Pocky chip happened. I think my body's just like, you know what? Let's not fight it. Let's just open the gates, let it through.
Let's just get it out.
He doesn't have that much time left anyway, so... Man,
You
that
become
sounds...
like the opposite of a closed system. You just become like your intestine straightens into a single pipe, and it's just like, let's make this as fast as possible.
Yeah.
A to B, baby. Maybe there's a bypass in there. It opens up the secret middle intestine that bypasses the rest of it and just goes straight through.
It's just
You
a
have an
charred piece
expressway.
of garbage that's in me somehow. Yeah, that feels not as bad as Pocky, and I feel like it was a good lesson.
Okay, so that's a 5 out of 10 for Ashton's 16.
Definitely more formative than the Pocky happening earlier in your life.
Hot shit Indian challenge.
We have a 5. We have to have a 5, right?
We probably do. Dude, we're getting to the point where everything is going to be a tie. At some point, we'll do an episode where we figure this out. God damn it, there's 2 tied on here already that we have to fix. Okay,
Should we do that offline? No?
We're going to do it. We're doing it live.
Okay.
We've set the
We
precedent.
have to
Okay.
what are all 3? Hold on.
So is my hot shit Indian, your mental road trip, and the plans to my house. I would say this is better than the plans to my house. I don't know if it's better than your mental road trip.
But we also have to deal with all 5-1, 5-1, 5-5-2, and 5-5.
Look, so I'm gonna set a precedent. Can we just pick a spot in the middle that we think it belongs?
Yeah, and give it a weird number. I don't care.
So I think I would put it between your Spirit Flying Disc and above Squeeze Caves.
I'm with you.
Okay, so that is going to be a 5.16. I'm also putting it in life experiences. I learned a lesson. 16-year-old me was awful. Okay, so now we got to resolve this other tie real quick. We're gonna do this like a lightning ranking. So Connor's mental road trip. I think it's better than the plans to my house.
Yeah,
I like it better than a Chucky dream. I like it more than truffle hunting with Sully, honestly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, me too.
5.6.
I think Connor's mental road trip is actually... Truffle hunting with Sully is one of those things, so we can put it above.
Okay, 5.6. Done. All right. We have no other ties that need to be resolved. We can nope. Shit,
is
that's
ugly.
That's not true. The new
No,
Port
you
Oregon
can't-
Meredith
no, hold
Square
on.
triple attraction. I'm gonna say it's better than Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay.
And it's worse than Niagara Falls Barrel History, which puts it at a 7.54. I know, dude. I know. We'll fix it later. We'll fix it later. We need a new system. This is getting out of hand, but we don't have the time.
Okay.
Okay, stop. All right, stop sharing. Let's get it. Last item. Hit me.
Last item. All right. I have for you. Oh, okay. So I was going through my mind palace. I think like most people, I have a physical space in my brain that I walk into and I explore when I need to retrieve ideas or memories. And I've had a odd shaped container in one of the side rooms for a long time. And that side room kind of came up when I was younger. So it's less structured. It doesn't look like the hallways of Severance. It has more character, but I don't like going there. It kind of makes me feel like a rat boy. But I started thinking about it for this podcast, and I think I knew what was in it. And so I took a walk into that room. I knocked on the door. No one opens. They never do. And I walked to the corner where I knew this was stored. And the shape of it, I would say, was that of an onion. And I opened it up, and what I saw there was a large blooming onion from Outback Steakhouse. I believe Chili's also has a version of this. Quick gut check for you, bud. How do you feel about bloomin' onions or the concept?
The concept, very good.
Are they delicious to you?
Yeah, they are. Like this is a food made for me. I'm just gonna share my screen real quick because I feel like we need to show what Bloomin' Onions look like for context. These are recipes. We don't want that. We want the Outback Steakhouse Bloomin'
Yeah.
Onion.
Yes,
there
we
go.
do.
Show me that. Yeah, look at that. That's nice.
That's beautiful, right?
Nice. What we are, Connor? Can you describe what we're seeing? What this Bloomin' Onion looks like to you?
Absolutely. So what we have is we have an onion that through a patented device owned by Outback has sliced the onion from the top into 16 segments, of which each of those segments have the petals of the onion flowering out. It is then dredged in flour and batter and deep fried such that you have approximately 200 unique onion petals, each covered with batter and then supplemented with a delicious mayonnaise-y, kind of a little bit spicy, creamy sauce.
Preach.
My God,
Yeah.
so good. And so
I also love that it knows my next question, which is price. How much do you think a Bloomin' Onion costs?
ooh, in this economy, I'm gonna say that's a $14 appetizer at Outback.
9, baby. Holy
That's-
shit. Can we? It's a 1,850 calorie $9. That's a deal and a half. Can we please go to Outback? Where's the nearest Outback Steakhouse?
I can DoorDash Outback to my house.
I gotta stop sharing my screen because I don't want people to see where I live when I search for how long it's gonna take me to get to Outback Steakhouse. Okay, directions, and then we'll get back to your thing. I'm sorry. 21 minutes from here, we can meet there. It's by the Cheesecake Factory. You know where that is. Let's go to Outback. It's near the Olive Garden we went to when we had the mozzarella pillows. Your favorite.
I can
Sorry.
DoorDash. I'm going to DoorDash you a Bloomin' Onion when you least expect it.
That to me feels like something that will not travel well, but I will 1,000% fucking. Dude, if you give me a Bloomin' Onion on like a Survivor night where I could just watch Survivor and eat an entire Bloomin' Onion to myself, like 5,000 calories of onion, bring it the fuck on. That I will hurt myself for that. I love it.
Okay, so that was part of it. It was in retrospect, what this made me think of going into this room and then finding this onion for my past is being a middle class fancy kid. And going to Outback for special occasions and not realizing that it probably wasn't the best for you, nor was it the best food, but it was an experience. It was fun. We felt like we were getting something fancy. So I would say that's a great experience. I hate pretty much everything about modern day capitalism. What a fucking liberal punk. But
The YouTube comments are going to eat you alive on that one.
But these middle class fancy restaurants, they were doing something right. And so this is one of the reasons I want to go to Chili's with you. But it made me think that we really had no idea what we were doing. And I say that as me as a child, and then my parents and the way that they fed me what we ate, because you shouldn't be eating these things. This is 5,000 calories. That includes the sauce, because I did look it up. It's like 3,000 if you don't have the sauce.
Wait,
and so
sorry,
really,
that's a 2,000 calorie thing of sauce? What the fuck is in that? It wasn't that big.
It's like 3,800, and it's mayonnaise, sugar, and something else.
Jesus Christ. We've strayed too far from God's light. Like, bring us back on the path.
So one of the things that got me curious was we have an energy problem in the world, right? We are drill baby drilling. We are fracking. We are opening up our natural wonderlands to the raw force of American need, energy need. And so I think we've missed an opportunity, and that is to start thinking about the things that we put into our bodies, and maybe instead of putting them into our bodies, using them for other reasons. I actually believe that's how canola oil came about. We had to create vast sums of it to lubricate tanks and things in World War II. And then we had the industry for it. And we were like, what if people ate it? And then we started eating it. And that's why we have canola oil. So I think in a similar fashion, a lot happening in the world today, maybe a war in Iran, I don't know. But what could a Bloomin' Onion do to help us out? And so with the help of the computer, I did a little bit of calculations, and I want to run some numbers by you. First of all,
I'm so here for this. This is one of the best items we've done already. Like, I love this.
what do you think? How far in gasoline equivalents could a Bloomin' Onion take you in an average sedan?
In an average sedan, how far could a Bloomin' Onion take me?
A single Bloomin' Onion.
Ooh,
1.5 miles. Does that surprise you?
So break this down for me.
Mhm.
How are we turning this Bloomin' Onion into car?
So this is the part we're going to have to solve, and it's going to be me and you. No one else
Yeah,
is going to do this for
yeah,
us if we
yeah.
want some goddamn change. And so I'm really just talking about like energy equivalents. And so if your car can run on gasoline, gasoline has an energy density. If your car can run on blooming onions, blooming onions have an energy density. And we have a new measure of unit, and that is 1.7 blooming onions per mile is essentially what we can do with a blooming onion energy-wise.
And hold on 1 second. I have something that I think might help with this.
Oh, yeah.
In the movie Back to the Future 2, on the back of the car to power it, they use a little I'm holding up a Lego of the Back to the Future car. They have this little receptacle here that's for trash.
Mhm.
What if we just put bloomin' onions in there? Do you think
Yes.
that's like the secret is we just fill this car with bloomin' onions and then we can then our time travel cars just go for free?
So I'm pretty sure in Back to the Future 1, when they first showed that at the end, of which I know you know,
Yeah.
So I'm not being
look,
pedantic.
you gotta call me out. You gotta call me out. That's
I'm pretty sure he used a banana and an empty or like half a can of Miller Lite and one other thing. And that got you back in time. And so a bloomin' onion could fucking fry the world. It could close the lights of the sun.
yeah. This is like the energy crisis that we've solved it with the bloomin' onion.
Yeah. And knowing that there's 200 petals, I think there's probably, and from an energy density match, we're probably looking at depleted uranium bullets or something like that, like
Jesus.
arms.
Yeah.
So that's what I have for you today was that weird information about a blooming onion and me thinking about middle class fancy. The last thing was my good friend Michael Koslow. He got a job at the same time as me. I got a job as my mom dropped me off at Applebee's when I was like 15 and a half and told me to go get a job. And so I became a hostess and they made me wear a little dress. And then later I became an expo, which was the person who collects all the food to make a dish, like bread, potato, steak. And I put it together and then I send it out, right?
Yeah.
Michael, he worked at Trey Wan's Outback. Trey Wan was the general manager. Really cool dude. Definitely let Michael buy beer when he was underage. But Michael was he was the fucking Bloomin' Onion guy at like 15 or 16. He ran the Blooming Onion section. And I never told him this, and I need to tell him this. I actually texted him to ask for the name of Trey Wan because I remembered he had a white boss with the last name of Wan. And I always thought that guy was really interesting. But Michael, I was so proud of you for being the Bloomin' Onion guy, and I was jealous, I'll be honest. Like, it felt like you had life figured out in a way that I did not when I was 16. And so that was the last part of it.
Wow. That's amazing also just to run that operation at 16 because everybody's ordering a bloomin' onion at Outback. That's happening a lot, I would imagine. I don't know how much of their revenue it is. I imagine it's quite a lot. But
so they had, if I remember correctly, kind of like Grand Marché or yeah, that was a good pull. Fuck, I'm smart. They had a Blooming Onion section. So like it was dedicated that the only thing Michael K did, Big Mike K, is Blooming Onions all night. He was the BO man.
That's crazy.
I mean, a boy at a time, but like by the end of a shift, he was the BO man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, but like you said, it's like nuclear physics. Like you're not going to put somebody on the line to make a nuclear bomb. You're going to get Oppenheimer. He was the Oppenheimer of Outback, is what you're saying, basically.
He went on to get a PhD or PhD equivalent and works at the Fed. So,
I think you would have to. Like, if you have that intelligence displayed at 16 to be able to run the Bloomin' Onion section, like, I'm surprised he's not president, to be honest.
Now, I shouldn't put him on blast, but I will tell you that all the advanced math he does in his head, it is using the petals of the blooming onion, kind of like in a Beautiful Mind scenario. They're just floating around. He's smelling, he's tasting, and then a number comes out of him, and then we quantitatively eat something.
Wow, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. So, couple of cues about all this.
Yeah.
Number one, do you think that we should stop Australia from enriching onions just for global safety? I don't know if I like them having all this enriched onion potential.
You know what? You are not wrong. I didn't think about it like that, but we have made some ground today. What I would say is that I do think it's strange to disrupt peace to create peace. And so I would start with maybe sending a delegation over to Australia to have,
just like an enriched onion monitoring program. Or like we make something like the equivalent of the Iran nuclear deal, but for Australia's.
We'll get a third party. Maybe the UN can go in there, check the O's, make sure they got the right petals. Yeah. But it's not a bad idea now that we know the raw power of the Bloomin' Onion.
Yeah, I think that's definitely that's heavy shit to think about. And speaking of heavy, I was thinking about like heat and how much heat this generates. How many Bloomin' Onions would I need to survive in a snowstorm? Can I like live on these through the cold winter nights?
Ashton, you 100% can live on these through the cold winter nights. Oh, what I have
5,000 calories is a lot. You could live on a Bloomin' Onion for a while, and I kind of imagine it doesn't go bad.
It takes a lot for it to go bad. The sauce definitely doesn't go bad. So you should eat 7 petals a day. That should be able to sustain you for a 2-week period. And that includes an equal proportion of sauce per 200. So you're going to have to divide that up. But honestly, of all the topics, all the items we've had, this one I think is probably the most beneficial. It also, because of the oil, if you light it on fire, it can be used as a weapon or a last ditch heating source. But I would say conserve your calories, like conserve your energy. That's very important. 7 petals a day and a little bit of sauce, and you might have a chance.
I think we should burn the dense layer of the onion in the middle. Like eat the outer edge, for caloric intake, but then the dense onion middle, I feel like that'll burn longer, sort of like when you put sap on a torch.
Wait, no, we're not gonna. No, you're eating it is the most important part.
But like, so let's say it's really cold and we need the heat. I'm burning the center of the onion for heat.
Or like 4 wolves show up and you have to put the onion on a stick and light it on fire and go, ha, yeah,
back,
yeah, away, wolves, away.
Yeah, fuck okay. Yeah. Tell me your score for this, because I tell you what, I'm coming in fucking high on the Bloomin' Onion.
I am too. You got me riding this onion. This onion adventure, I'm at a 10. I'll say it. Whoa. Bloomin' Onion 10, yeah.
Bloomin' Onion 10. I'm trying to think of something that's wrong with it.
Going once, going twice.
Yeah, I think a Bloomin' Onion is a 10. A Bloomin' Onion is a 10.
You just got bloomed, son.
So, and I think we have to let it tie at a 10.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, we can have multiple things at 10. So this is going to be our second 10. The Bloomin' Onion. Oh my God, if I could type Bloomin' Onion, Outback Steakhouse. It's a perfect 10. We're saying it now.
Just real quick, it's specifically the Bloomin' Onion from Trey Wan.
From Trey Wan's Outback Steakhouse. Trey Wan's Outback Steakhouse. All right. What are we going to put this in? It feels like object feels too. I mean, I guess we have some food in objects. Like, is it an object? Is it a lifestyle? Is it a new energy source?
Mystical artifacts. Mysticism.
Mystical artifacts. Mystical artifacts. For notes, I'm going to put, we should really watch Australia's onion enrichment program for global safety.
I really want a freaking Bloomin' Onion now. I might get one.
So do I. I don't know why.
I can't believe it's $9
for too long, and now I want it. Like,
Outback, we have over 9 episodes, and so I'm not saying invest in us now. Don't get ads from us now. But when we're at 20 or 30, we're your boys. We give you one of 2 10s.
When people come like fucking bursting into Outback Steakhouse and they say,
"Yeah,
I heard my 2 boys talking about Bloomin' Onions. They're a perfect 10. I would like 10 of them." Like, you just treat that as a referral code for us. And like, look, maybe toss a Bloomin' Onion our way. They only cost $9. That's insane. Also, like the calories per dollar, there cannot be more foods that are more efficient than a Bloomin' Onion. Like, is Bloomin' Onion the most efficient food that exists? It might be. That's insane. That's crazy. Like $5,000. That's like 3 burgers from 5,000 calories.
It is the equivalent of 2 Big Macs, a full large shake, a large soda, and a large fry before you have your steak.
Jesus Christ. That's without
sauce.
This is American innovation at its finest. Like, this is, when I say we lost our way, like we used to make things, okay? We used to make things.
How? Oh,
like,
yeah.
Off-brand themed restaurants to other countries where we deep fried whole onions and like made things that are probably killing us slowly. Like, bring back the innovation of the Bloomin' Onion. God damn it. Ugh,
I was looking into it, most articles specifically called out that it is a symbol of American excess and innovation.
Yeah, I would say symbol of American excellence. I don't know about excess.
Yeah.
Excellence, maybe.
Yeah. Exceptionalism?
Yeah, let's
manifest
end this
destiny.
Podcast and let's go to Outback. Let's go. All right. Man, affirmation. My affirmation for you, fuck yeah for making me think about the Bloomin' Onion for the first time in 20 years. That really brought me up, and like, I'm not proud to be an American most of the time.
Yeah.
I love my country.
Jacked.
I don't love the way it's being led. But I love that we made Bloomin' Onions.
Yeah.
Like, that's something I can get down with.
Yeah, and for anyone in the comments who's coming at us and who's going to say something to the effect that this is an Australian innovation, it's a theme restaurant by some fucking American in 1980, okay? It's the same corporation as Bonefish and probably Cheesecake Factory. So get off your goddamn horse, okay?
Yeah, you know what? Fucking fly the Bloomin' Onion flags this 4th of July. Okay?
Yeah.
Stars and stripes and Bloomin' Onion right next to it because I'm a goddamn patriot. This is what
And
I'm doing.
I'm not celebrating it for a day. I'm celebrating it for a month.
Yeah, it's
Move
a
over
month
Black
of
History
Bloomin'
Month.
Onions.
I mean, don't move over.
Definitely
We'll
don't
choose
move.
another month.
We'll
do
find
another.
one that we can go over.
We'll move the month.
We're not going to take
that's on
over
a-
Pride either. I feel like Pride's
Yeah.
definitely more important than Bloomin' Onions. What's July? Is July anything?
That's 4th of July. So
So that's
celebrating for a whole
appropriate.
month. Yeah.
Yeah, the 4th. Yeah, you know what? July is Bloomin' Onion month. Okay.
Bloom in July.
Yeah, Bloomin' July.
I'm gonna let's get shirts and stickers.
Bloomin' July, or just a Bloomin' Onion, and it says American Excellence underneath it.
Yeah.
Fuck it, that's our first merch. American Excellence is the Bloomin' Onion. It's a perfect 10. Let's go.
Oh man, that was great. Information for you. Oh man, this is what we do in couples therapy. I have appreciation for you. Hey, thanks for looking at my resume. I know that was really boring and giving good feedback. And generally, just thanks for being my friend. Oh, it was really fun playing video games with you last night. I enjoyed that. Oh, I had my actual affirmation. I missed you last week when you were gone. It's fun to have you around. And so when you go on work trips, it's boring. And that makes me think about how I disappeared for like 4 years. Okay.
Yeah. Love you, buddy.
Bloomin'
Good podcast.
love you. Bye.